Hello, fellow Columbans. I'm David. This weekend, our country celebrates Independence Day, often referred to as the birthday of the nation. Last month, Christians celebrated Pentecost, often referred to as the birthday of the church. I'm thankful for these milestones because each recalls the start of world-changing missions that have shaped my life, and because I believe I'm called, as all of us are, to help bring them further toward fruition. I recall an era when our faith life and civic life were joined more closely than they are today. When I was in public elementary school in the 1960s, we started each day by reciting the Lord's Prayer, along with pledging allegiance to the flag. And in the Episcopal Church of my youth, an American flag was displayed in the front of the nave, along with religious symbols. My bond with God was reinforced in school, and my bond with country was reinforced in church. Looking back, I can see that neither practice was necessary. I didn't need school to build my faith in God, and I didn't need church to build my respect for country. A gift we celebrate on the 4th of July is that each of us can participate in civic life in a way that's separate from whatever faith tradition we claim. And yet for me, church and state are blended in my identity as both a child of God and an American citizen. Both the church and our country came into being to promote visions of justice that were new in their time. At Pentecost, the Spirit empowers Jesus' disciples to spread the good news of God's inclusive love and to bring about God's kingdom on earth. On July 4th, a colonized people began a struggle for self-government based on the idea that all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. As groundbreaking as this was at the time, our founders' vision of community fell far short of the one Jesus came to proclaim, failing to include women, people of color, and Native Americans. Most of the signers of the Declaration of Independence owned enslaved people who never experienced those rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. One of the signers was a slave-owning minister. I'm troubled that more than 2 centuries later, our country is still marred by deeply embedded inequities resulting from the sin of racism that our founders could not or would not confront. And yet, I'm grateful that the founders had the courage to come together to give the idea of democracy its start. And I'm proud of the ways in which our country has been a force for good in the world. The flag for me is a precious symbol of what the American project promises. The cross is precious to me as the symbol of the ongoing project of God that blesses me with love, forgiveness, and strength, and calls me to share Jesus' reconciling presence. Its power transcends what any national banner could communicate, a reminder that I'm embraced by God's unconditional love that leaves no one out. It also calls me to recognize my place in the system of racial privilege that blocks the justice of God from being fully felt, and to seek ways to change it. Throughout our history, faith has led church leaders into the public square to insist that the laws of the land should reflect the justice of God. The church is a strong voice now in what feels like a growing national readiness to stand with Black Americans to bring about real change. The flag and the cross call out to us in diverse ways depending on where we find ourselves in relationship to God and country. Both the American project and God's are works in progress, and pressing for systemic change to bring about racial and economic justice is a way of advancing both. As one theologian has put it, there are 3 kinds of patriots: 2 bad, 1 good. The bad ones are the uncritical lovers and the loveless critics. Good patriots carry on a lover's quarrel with their country, a reflection of God's lover's quarrel with all the world. Peace be with you.